What's up, YouTubers? Now, I know a lot of you questioning what's with the title. We usually have booster packs these days on a Sunday. What's going on? Well, you see, guys, we've got a bit of a technical difficulty. I could not really get any packs this week. I'm really sorry. It is the first week back from Barcelona, so I thought of something I could do. We're going to be talking about the new card that's coming out, the new type of monsters known as the Link monsters. Now, a lot of people have been having ups and downs about this new type of monster, and I'm going to go through with you the new rules, what the monster does, what changes it's brought, and what it's gonna probably do with the future. So, while we begin, first of all, let's go with the changes in the field. That's the big thing that's happened. First of all, guys, as you all know, this is not the first field change we've had. Because of the pendulum monsters, those have brought in new zones. They've now officially been moved. So the pendulum zones are now linked with the spell and trap card zones. Because of that, we can have 2 pendulum monsters in our spell and trap card zone with 3 spell or trap cards, or 5 spell and trap cards and no pendulum monsters. Now, a lot of people have been debating whether or not that's a good idea, because it's been a year now or so since pendulums have been released, and honestly, people have coped with the pendulum zones being put in. Sure, people that still play Yu-Gi-Oh with dual discs and that can't do pendulums, but at least now they can able to do it, because all they need to do is place them in the spell and trap card zone. But because of this change, and now that if you're running pendulums, you can use 3 of your spell and trap card zones, people have been wondering, maybe this is why in the game Duel Links we've only got 3 zones. Maybe they were secretly preparing us for it. Honestly, I can see why they would think that, really, and honestly I wouldn't be surprised if Konami's actually done it. So yeah, because of this, a lot of people are now going to have to get rid of mats that they had within the last year. So like my Crasher Rebellions mat that I used for booster pack obvious, that's gone, and we're better off using mats we had before, like my Judgment of the Light dual mat. So let's put this back here, because we're going to be using that later. Anyway, but that doesn't mean we haven't got any new zones, guys. We've now got these 2 new zones that's above the monster card zones, known as the Link zones. But only one player can use those Link zones, so you've got 1 zone for you and 1 zone for your opponent to use. Now, as for gameplay, it's going to be changed as well because of what these new monsters do. Let me explain. These Link monsters have a blue border. Not as blue as the ritual monsters, more like a darker blue. Think of the Forbidden Arbalest the Tormentor blue border. The fan card version, basically. Blue. These cards rely within the extra deck. So we've got another extra deck monster. This is where I get a bit ticked off, guys. Fusions we all coped with because that was from the beginning. Synchros we all enjoyed because it was a new type of fusion, but not fusion at the same time, that everyone could use, because this time you didn't need polymerization, you just needed a new type of monster, tuners. Xyz everyone enjoyed because we got a new line of monsters, no levels, ranks, and that way we got a new spin on the game. Pendulums go into the extra deck, people enjoyed because it's what we always wanted, extra monsters in the extra deck to use. These ones, they go within the extra deck. We've got a 15 limit. We've got a 15 card limit for the extra deck. With Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, we can cope because we just need 5 of each. There we go. If we now want Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, and these Link monsters, that's just way too much. We're going to have to do Link and Xyz, Link and Synchro, Link and Fusion, or just that. But I definitely know one thing, everyone's going to have to try and put link monsters in their deck if they want to use the, if you want to use the extra deck. Now a lot of you are going to me now going, what do you mean we're going to need link monsters to use the extra deck? What are you talking about? This is why. Let's just switch over to the field. This is where the new zone comes in to play. And to demonstrate, I'm going to be using my DD deck, the same DD deck that I used against the Mighty Mermon. So we're just going to quickly shuffle that up, put it in the monster card, put it in the deck zone, draw my 5 cards. Here's my 5 cards, guys. Now let me show you. First, I'm going to use Swell Swime's effect to fuse it with DD Lith and get from the extra deck DD Oracle King D'Arc. Now, this is where the new zones come in, the link zones, the ones that go like here above the map. These zones are only available for the extra deck cards, meaning I can only put my Oracle King D'Arc up here, not in the monster card zones. This is where people get really annoyed. Because of this, we can't really use our extra deck cards. If we go back to my hands, the next thing I would normally do with the rules that we got right now is summon out Night Howling, bring back Lith, use Lith's effect to bring back Swell Swine, and then synchro summon Alexander. The only problem is we've only got one of these link zones, so I can't do that. Because of these link zones, the new rules say that any monsters from the extras that go there first. There's only one way round that, really, and that's by using these new link monsters. Because on these monsters, they have these arrows, which quote unquote unlock the monster card zones they're pointing to. So, if I had these new link monsters here, we'll say Oracle is a new link monster and the link zones around here, the arrows that chances are pointing towards me will be either these 3 zones that are towards me. The downside of it is because the arrows will be pointing upwards as well. And the arrows are all different depending upon the monster. So you can also unlock your opponent's zones, making it so they can call out more extra deck cards. That's what really gets people frustrated, because not a lot of people want to run this kind of mechanic. How do we call out these link monsters? It's the same old story. We need to sacrifice monsters that are on our field. So if I just quickly sort these cards out, I'll put them back in. The way some of these monsters are, they're known as like link summoning. To know how to do them, we look at the card, because on the cards they don't have defense. They got these things called link equivalents. So in order to call out, I don't know, let's say this monster had a link 3. We need to sacrifice 3 monsters on our field. So if I just quickly shuffle up my deck, because I can't remember if I did or not, probably have, put it back here, get the top 5 cards again, let's look at them. I need to have 3 monsters on my field. With this hand, I can't. The most I could probably do with this hand is again 2, because I've got Lith, Swell Slime, and Night Howling again. So I could do the same old combo, which is send Lith, Swell Slime, get out Oracle King D'Arc again, bring out Night Howling, call back Swell Swine or Lith, probably Lith, get back Swell Swine. Then I can do is just sacrifice his cards and call a link monster, which I can't do because I've got Oracle King D'Arc in the zone. This is what really this is what really gets people frustrated, and that, because if I wanted Oracle and Alexander on the field at the same time, I'm gonna have to try and get out a link monster first, and then and hope that a link monster I can call out has 2 arrows that can let me use 2 of my zones. And of course people are going to be really thinking about what link monsters to use, because no matter what link monster at the moment is out, because at the moment I think there's about 5 link monsters that's been revealed there's always going to be a guarantee that your opponent will unlock zones as well. And since the zones are like around here, the only chance you can use of unlocking all 5 of your monster zones is if you and your opponent have a link monster you can use. Now, I don't know about you guys, but with these new rules, I can't stand them. I don't know if it's because I'm being an old fogey about it, because I've grown up with Yu-Gi-Oh! Since I was 5 years old. I've been playing that game that long. I'm 21 now, and I've been playing the game for about 16 years, maybe more. But this is what really frustrates me. If I just get myself a new hand, I see no way of getting a Link monster out. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it, but at the moment I really can't stand these rules. I just really can't. And I definitely know I'm not the only one that thinks that way. I've gone to it with a bunch of people, and honestly, a small amount of them like the new rules. And those are the only people really that really like use cards from the extra deck. They have like struggle, really. Or the only time they really call out monsters, they only call it out one at a time. They don't have the power, or the skill, or the cards to call out multiple at the same time. And the people that honestly do, that honestly don't like the rules as well, they're all mixed. They're people that don't call out cards from the extra deck because they want to. They're people who can call out from the extra deck, or they can swamp the field with the extra deck. And don't get me wrong, this is going to affect more than like Fusion, Synchro, Xyz. It also affects Pendulum. Because again, since like Pendulum monsters are destroyed, they go to the extra deck. The only way you can like call them out is by using that one zone. Any cards called out from the extra deck are instantly locked to that zone, unless you have a Link monster there to unlock the other zones. There is a way around it, really. If an extra deck monster is gone to the graveyard, you can bring it back to the monster card zone, so long as it's from the graveyard. That's the only way around it. So, unless you have cards that can stock up on destroying your own extra deck, which at the moment you can't, it's honestly going to be stupid. There is one other way around it, and you're using a very old spell card, which I used when it was first came out, just so I can annoy the opponent. And that card is known as Switch Scent. This spell card has the power to move monsters from one monster card zone to another. So you're basically doing this. You're just moving the monster to a different zone. That's all you're doing. So if I have like a Link monster, we'll put DDD, Wave Abyss, Kaza, Ragnarok there, and say he's unlocked these 2 zones, and I put Lift there. But I have a strategy that can make me call out 2 other Link monsters. With Switch Scent, I just basically move Arc there, and then just call out the other 2 monsters there. That's what's good about that spell card. Or if you have like a monster there, no, that's not a monster. Let's just quickly put the top monster, the Landorus, there. And your other monster card zone was full, but you wanted to call out an extra deck, you just use the Switch Scent, move that monster away, and just put the card there. That's all that spell card does. And ever since that's come out, the price of that card skyrocketed. It was one of the most cheapest spell cards ever because it was never used. Now people will use it. The only time people would ever use that spell card was if they used the old alien monsters, because there was an alien monster that kept switching zones. So if there was a problem with that monster who swapped zones and it came a zone it couldn't use, you just send it again to move it to a different zone, so its effect was once per turn. But yeah guys, honestly, with these new rules, I can't honestly stand them. I seriously can't. I don't even know how on earth people think they can work around it. I've been doing it for years. And honestly, I see myself having to get myself a new deck. This DD deck here, ever since it first appeared in the anime, I wanted to use it. It took me like half a year to get this deck. Maybe a bit more. Maybe about 75% of a year. And now that I've got it, I can't even use it because of these new Link monsters. I don't know, but these are the rules that's been leaked onto the internet, really. But I just seriously can't even now use this deck. I seriously can't. I worked my butt off getting this deck, and now I can't even use it. And it's not the only deck that's affected for me. Honestly, the only decks that I can use now, that I've built, that I still play with now, that won't probably be affected by these, are my Battling Boxers and my Cyber Dragon deck. Those are the only two decks off the top of my head I can think of that are not going to get affected that badly. Sure, I could play this deck part of the time and then hope for the best that I'm not going to pull off a wicked extra deck slam banging strategy, but at the moment it's honestly a bit handcuffed, really. It's a bit tied up with what I can do. Yeah, I can play with it now until the new Link monsters come out, but when they do, I'm going to be crying. I'm literally going to be crying. Because that's what most people are going to be doing. The only decks I can think of off the top of my head that are not going to be suffering from it are like Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, Dark Magician, like the classics. There will be other decks as well, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. The decks I can think of real, and Dark Worlds. Dark Worlds, the sleeping meta deck, as most people know, they're not going to be suffering because they don't really call out from the extra deck. They mostly call out from the hand or graveyard. Those kinds of decks really, like Dark Worlds, Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes, are going to be taking a huge advantage because they're not going to get hit as bad. Sure, those decks do call out from the extra deck, but that rarely happens really because they've got such strong monsters. Anyway, and they've got ways around that as well. I mean, with Blue Eyes, you've got Mane with Eyes of Blue. For Red Eyes, you've got the Black Stone of Legend. For Dark Magician, you've got all those other spellcaster cards and all those spell cards to call out your spellcaster monsters. For Dark Worlds, you've got Grapha, the Dragon Lord Dark World. All you need to do is send him to the graveyard and then smack out another Dark World to bounce back to your hand and then call back out Grapha. That's literally what you can do. I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of the new summon mechanic. But honestly, I can't stand it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being old-fashioned. Maybe I just like things the way they are. I mean, pendulums. I coped because it was not much different. You just got 2 new zones. They moved the zones into the spell and trap card zone. So the only way now I could properly pendulum summon is if I had Kepler in the spell trap card zone. Just going to quickly find myself another pendulum. Gallia there. And that's literally my zone. I then got normal spell and traps. That's it. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Maybe I'm being old-fashioned. But honestly, that's how I feel. You guys just were losing the will to really do anything. I don't know. Maybe these are false rules, really. Maybe they're not moving the pendulum zone. I know a lot of people are hoping that. Maybe Link Summon's not going to restrict the extra deck as much, but who knows? They did say they brought the new rules to slow down the game. Because of pendulums, they made the game real fast. But honestly, the way I see it, it hasn't speeded up or slowed down. Because of pendulums, it's made it a little more easier for rookies to take on champions and pros. That's the way I see it, and I know that's a lot, and that's a way a lot of people have seen it. I don't know. Maybe I am getting a bit old-fashioned, really. Maybe I do need to get with the times. But honestly, until these new Link monsters come out, until we actually have the cards, all I can say is it's going to really mess up the game. That's honestly how I feel about it, guys. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. Did this video give you any ideas of what you think? And what are your thoughts overall about it? About the changes? So yeah, I'm gonna go play with this deck as much as I can before it really gets whacked. And until next time, guys, this is me signing out. Bye bye.